Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday School classroom. I'm going to be reading from this book. What is this book? It's the Bible. The Bible is God's words to us. So if these are God's words, we need to be reading it so we know what he's trying to tell us or teach us. Well, today we're going to be reading in the book of Genesis. In Genesis, it talks about a man named Isaac. Isaac had two sons. They were twins. Their names were Esau and Jacob. Let me tell you a little bit about the two sons. So the son whose name was Esau loved to hunt. He loved being outside. He loved going hunting. He was really hairy. Well, let me tell you about the other son. The other son's name was Jacob. And let me tell you about him. This is an apron. Jacob loved to stay inside. Maybe he loved to cook or help their mom. He was smooth. He wasn't all that hairy like Esau was. So here we have these two twins, but very different siblings. Well, their dad, named Isaac, was getting old. And Isaac said, Esau, you're the oldest. Go and make me some of that stew that I like so much. And then I'm going to bless you before I die. No, Isaac's eyes weren't working very well. He could hardly see. But Esau went off to go hunting so that he could make his father's yummy favorite stew so that he could come back and his father would bless him. Well, Jacob, he was jealous about that. I wanted to receive the blessing, he said. So he had a plan. He would make stew and he would take it to their father first and get the blessing. Remember, Isaac couldn't see very well. Jacob thought, but I know he can't see very well, but if he feels me, he's going to feel that I'm not hairy like Esau. So he took some goat skin and put it on his skin so that it felt hairy. And then he said, but what if father gets near me, maybe to give me a hug, and he's going to smell that I don't smell anything like Esau who's been outside. And so what he did was he put on Esau's clothes. So now he would smell like Esau, sweaty from being outside, I guess, and he would feel like Esau. And he had made his own pot of stew. So here he goes. Jacob goes to their father Isaac and says, here, father, here's your stew. Now give me my blessing. Well, Isaac, just as Jacob had thought, wasn't so sure because it sounded like Jacob's voice. So he said, come here and let me feel of you. So he felt his arm and said, you're hairy like Esau. And then he smelled him and said, yep, you smell like Esau. So he ate the stew and he blessed Jacob. Well, about that time, the real Esau came in from hunting. He had made his own pot of stew. And he said, Father, here I am. I have your favorite stew. Eat it and bless me. And Isaac said, what? I already did. We're back here with more stew. And Esau said, what are you talking about? I just got here. I was just hunting and I just got here, made your stew, and here I am. Now bless me. But Isaac said, oh no, Esau, your brother Jacob got here first. He tricked me and I've given him the blessing. Well, you can imagine what Esau felt like. Angry. He was so mad. He said, if I can get my hands on Jacob, well, meanwhile, Jacob knew that Esau was terribly angry with him. So he decided, and also his mom decided, that he needed to get out of there. So Jacob went far, far away. And the Bible tells us that he stayed away for a long, long time. Now, remember, he was a grown boy. So he went away and he stayed for years and years. Well, one day he said, I really want to go back home, but I bet Esau's still mad at me. But he decided to give it a try. And so the Bible tells us that he went back home, and as he got near his brother, Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him, and they wept. Esau was glad to see him. Esau forgave him. Jacob had done wrong, and Esau was right to be mad at him, but Esau chose to forgive. And do you know who else chooses to forgive? God. When we ask him, he always forgives us. This is a picture. This story tells us a little bit about God, that he's forgiving, just like Esau, but way greater. God forgives us and he loves us so much that he knows we're going to do wrong. But he paid the wage for that sin by sending his son Jesus to die on the cross for us so that we could have a right relationship with God forever if we choose his free gift of salvation. Thanks everyone for listening, and I hope you had fun reading in the Bible together. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.